Hello everybody, and happy Homebrew Wednesday to you all. As you can see, we just pouring a beer off the bar, finally. And I've just poured another one off this tap. So, we'll go out on the side at bar and I'll tell you all about them. Right. Hello everybody, and cheers to you. Ooh, lovely. So, as you can see, with two beers, two taps running now, and I'm quite happy with them. We did the two beers that I've brewed before, and I have give recipes out from before, but I'll do a quick run through again for any new subscribers. And the two beers we've got are Mosaic IPA and one of my recipes, a smashed IPA, and I'll explain about them in a minute. So I can't remember when I brewed them now. They've been in keg 8 days. I must have brewed just over a month ago, and I did video bits, but I were out of practice a little bit, and brewing and videoing and that. And to be honest, I weren't happy with the footage I got, so I've not included it. I possibly could go through it and maybe put a box up just showing you me doing in or something, but is it worth it really? I don't know. But now I'm getting back into it again, and that I will be putting some brewing videos up because I need to do some experimental brewing to get rid of some stock that I've got that's been sat there. So, right, back to business. The two beers we've got, first of all, we've got the Mosaic IPA, and like I've just said, they've been in keg now 8 days, and they're clearing out really nicely. They're coming on. I'll just give you a quick run through of the recipe for those that don't know. Mosaic IPA, which I've done some little pump badges. PA Brewing, as in personals, of which you can go on Instagram, PA Brewing, Mosaic IPA, and I have done one for the smashed IPA as well. Nothing special. If you can remember the setup of my old bar, I had a load of pump badges on front at bar, and I've just been on beer labelizer, printed them off, glued them to them and stuck them on there. I have done another two, which I'll talk about in a minute. But back to this Mosaic IPA. This was originally an all-grain kit from Brew UK, and I've brewed it now 4, possibly 5 times. Just reordered grains and kept redoing it because I really like it. I mean, Mosaic's probably one of my favourite hops. It's up there anyway in my top 5. So it's grain bill, Marisota, 4.3 kilo, Vienna malt 940 grams, and Cara malt 188 grams. Hops are Cascade 75 grams, start at boil. Mosaic 30 grams 30 grams at flame out. Protoflock in your last 15, and then there's a dry hop of Mosaic of 50 grams 4 or 5 days in, and it's a USO5 yeast. And if you like Mosaic, you won't go far wrong with this. And I have in the past, I think Crew Wolf, I'm going back quite a while, he's had one, and I think Rick Shaw's had one, and there's some others that must have had them, but to name a couple that's had them, and I really like them. The only criticism I've got about these two beers that I've done is, if I'm totally honest, they're not as good as past brews of these beers that I've done, and I think that's purely down to the ingredients I'm using are old. They're a good 8 month. Some of them might be a little bit older. All sealed and kept there, but old. They're not as fresh as I like them. I mean, you use fresh, you get fresh taste, don't you? But I'm 90% happy with them. It's just that they're not that quite as, they're not as hoppy, and they're not as zingy, and that malt backbone's not quite what it was. And I were down on my efficiencies a little bit. I missed a few points. So I think I'm putting that down to the ingredients I used being older. But saying that, I've too much not to use. So I will use them and maybe mix them in with new, try to make the best of them. But they're getting used, and slowly we'll rotate and we'll go through them, and we're back using fresh again. So that's a Mosaic IPA. I've gone for a light carbonation on them. Didn't want them too fizzy. Maybe gone a little bit too light, I don't know. No, I don't think I have actually. I'm quite happy with that. Anyway, that's the Mosaic, and the smashed IPA, which is this one here, which I think is clearing out a little bit better or faster. And there's more hop presence in this, but we have used more hops in it. And I'll just give you a quick rundown of this, because I know there will be people that I'm going over old ground for that's seen these recipes before. But I've had some new subscribers, and thank you very much for joining us at Personnels, who maybe haven't got the recipes for these, so I'll go through all this. And this is the smashed IPA, and it's called smashed IPA for a reason. I did a citrus smash a long time ago, 2-3 years, maybe longer. I think it was a recipe from Newt Homebrew Tom. I did a citrus smash, and it really was lovely. If you like citra, it was full on citra. Really nice, simple recipe. Check out Tom's channel. You'll have to really back into his catalogue, but it's there. Or maybe next week or whenever I'll just give you a recipe. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll find Citrus Smash out and I'll give you a recipe for that, I think, if I can find it. So what I did, because I liked the Mosaic IPA and I liked Tom's Citrus Smash, I thought I'd try and do a bit of a like amalgamation of them both, and I took the grain bill from the Mosaic IPA, hence that's why we've got the same sort of colour. I took the grain bill from one, and I took the hop schedule timings from the Citrus Mash, and I think it was hop timings, I'm sure it was. I took so much from one recipe, so much from the other, put them together and came up with this recipe. Hence, it was no longer a Mosaic IPA, and it was no longer a smash beer, so I called it a smashed IPA. Why not? So the grain bill is the same. It's Minnesota 4.3, Vienna malt 940 grams, Carner malt 188 grams. And then they're both 23 litre batches. The hops, 60-minute boil, I did. Hops are Citra and Simcoe, 20 grams. Sorry, I'm reading that wrong. Hops, Citra, 20 grams, start of the boil. Simcoe, 20 grams, last 10 minutes of the boil. And then Simcoe and Citra, both a 30 gram addition of each at flame out. Then there's a dry hop of Citra and Simcoe of 50 grams of each, 4 days in. USO 5 yeast again, if that made sense. I got a bit muddled when I was reading there. So they're the two beers that I've got on tap, and I'm quite happy with them. They're just not quite as fresh, hoppy and zingy as I remember them from when I brewed them before, but still very good, very palatable, and I'm probably 90–95% happy with them. And if I have to choose between them both, like I said, I think it's got to be Mosaic, because I think that's in my top 5 of my favourite hops. And I'm really happy with them. Now, the two taps that I've got up and running, they need a little bit of tinkering with. My pour is just a little bit slow. But if you remember, I did leave them lines a little bit extra because I didn't want to have them too short and then nowhere to go sort of thing if my pour wasn't right. At least this way, because they're longer, I can trim them back, speed that pour up a little bit, and if I have to, I can come from keg with some 3/8 and then reduce it and just have last couple of foot of 3/16 if I need to. But the main thing is they're up and running, and I can now tinker with them to get a pour, excuse me, to my satisfaction, with what I'm happy with. Not what they should be or what's correct or industry standard, what I'm happy with. And that's where we'll go from there. So that's my two beers, and that's where we are with the taps at the minute. The next tap I'm going to bring online is this far one, and I'm going to put a stout through it, a milk stout, hence Dexter's Milk Stout, and that is the Dexter's with 2 cats, and Dexter's one of the cats. And originally it was called Black Cat Milk Stout, and then we looked at the picture and it does resemble Dexter quite well, so it was Dexter's Milk Stout. Milk, cats, black cat, does it really matter? It's Dexter's Milk Stout. So that's going to be the next one, and then I've got this one, which is going to be a Yorkshire bitter, and I'm going to put this through the hand pull, hence it's got a clip on back. So that's going to be my next 2 brews, and then I think I'm going to do I've got the ingredient, I want to do a wheat beer, and by the time I get round to doing the wheat beer, hopefully I can put it through the wheat beer tap. Although I am going to buy this Nooka tap. You can get you can change the actual spout on it, and they do a stout tap. So I may put a stout. I'm going to get one anyway. I am going to get one. So whether it's the wheat beer that actually runs through there next, maybe, because if I do my stout on that, they'll be on them. Yeah. Anyway, at some point I will have stouts on there, as and when. So that's my beer update as such. I will get some footage. Can't remember whether I've just said it or not. I did get a little bit of footage of these 2 beers, but I wasn't happy with it. I think I've said it. I may put something up. I may be repeating myself. I can't remember. But I've been shopping. I bought some pipe insulation, 4 lengths. Probably need to get some more. And when I get sort of like happy with how my lines are running, I'm going to insulate them. £1.10 I think it is, that from Wicks for a length. So it's for next to nothing, isn't it? Silly not to have it. And then I went to Brew UK and ordered a few bits, because I've had to delay brewing these because I thought I had everything for them, and I was just a couple of little bits short. So I got a few bits. I got some First Gold, some Challenger, and some Goldings. They're my hops. And then I got some roasted barley, Special B, and I thought I'd got Special B, and that's what I need. I'm pretty sure that's in my milk stout, which stopped me from brewing it. Some Crystal, some flaked barley, and torrefied wheat. So I'm starting to get some fresh ingredients in, and we're just going to have to experiment a little bit over my next few brews with some older grains, some older hops. But like I've said, we'll eventually work through it all, because I've spent too much money on ingredients to not use them. And that's where we are, really. Really am enjoying being able to go out back at my bar and pull a pint. You forget how satisfying that is when you've actually made the beer from raw ingredients and you can actually serve the beer. The accomplished feeling you get when everything goes to plan and it's a top-notch beer in your opinion, and friends love it. When people come round and we have a bit of it, well, you can see on my board behind, we've had quite a few really good nights, and we've created a lot of memories in this bar, and I hope we continue to do so. Happy times. So I think we'll leave it there for now, and I'll be back in touch with some more goings on in personnels and more brew days and things. Cheers. Catch you all next time.